The documents were sealed. The witnesses were silenced. And now, the very people who exposed the truth are being hunted by the same government they dared to challenge. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has just referred the whistleblower.
Breaking just moments ago, MS Now has just confirmed Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard referred the whistleblower whose complaint led to the first impeachment of President Trump and the Inspector General, who deemed their complaint credible, for possible criminal prosecution by the Trump Justice Department. The move comes days after Gabbard released documents alleging a conspiracy behind Trump's first impeachment. Except, folks, the documents prove no such thing, okay? Also today, the Justice Department that will review this criminal referral is the same one that just asked a federal appeals court to throw out the seditious conspiracy convictions of Proud Boys and Oath Keepers who were sentenced for leading far-right extremist groups and attacking the Capitol on January 6th. Now, Trump had already commuted the sentences of these leaders, but this move would go a step further and erase the convictions. In both instances, the administration, it is not just trying to sanitize.
Whose complaint triggered Donald Trump's first impeachment, along with the Inspector General who validated that complaint, for possible criminal prosecution by Trump's own Justice Department. Let that sink in for a second. The person who told the truth, the official who confirmed the truth was credible, both of them, referred for prosecution. Not the people who pressured a foreign government on a recorded phone call, the ones who reported it. And this is just the beginning of what we're about to walk you through. Because what's happening right now goes so much deeper than one referral.
Someone who is extremely clear, the founder of Democracy Docket and chair of the Elias Law Group.
Mark Elias, what is the DNI doing here?
They're doing Donald Trump's bidding. I mean, they are doing exactly what Simone said. They are trying to weaponize the government against Donald Trump's political opponents, right? So that's the breaking news now, is that, you know, a Department of Justice that has gone after Donald Trump's enemies is now going to presumably go after more of their enemies. You know, the acting attorney general has gone so far as to say that it's the president's duty to have the Department of Justice go after his enemies and that Americans should be happy. Those are his words, not mine. So that's part of it. The second part is what Simone said, which is that they are laying the predicate. They are laying the foundation to say that when they claim that Democrats are interfering with the election or foreign governments are interfering with the elections, that we are to believe them and we are to allow the executive branch to do whatever they deem necessary, including seizing ballots, including taking over voting equipment, and we all need to be aware of that.
This is a systematic dismantling of every accountability structure the American government has ever had, and it's being done in plain sight. Gabbard released documents she claimed proved a conspiracy behind Trump's first impeachment, except...
No, you're exactly right. I mean, the last point you made is, to me, the most important one, is that, you know, Donald Trump acts as if somehow he was the victim of the Biden administration. Let us just remember that, as you point out, Donald Trump was president when all of this was happening, right? And by the way, the thing that he was impeached over, there's a transcript of the call. Like, yes. You don't have to listen. You don't have to listen to any witness. You don't have to listen to a whistleblower. All you have to do is read the transcript, and you can see what he was doing with Vladimir Zelensky on that phone call. So it is like, you know, he needs to start by like saying, set aside the transcript, and then believe that my entire administration was the...
Legal experts who reviewed those documents say they prove no such thing. Nothing. Zero. But that's not the point, is it? The point was never the documents. The point is the message. The message to every federal employee, every civil servant, every future whistleblower sitting inside some government building right now watching this unfold.
Mark, the first part, to put an exclamation point on what you just said, is largely what we see Tulsi Gabbard doing under Trump's instructions, is trying to erase history. As well as elevating the chilling effect on those inside the government who are noble public servants, to the extent that there are any remaining after the purge by this administration, who would in the future serve as whistleblowers on the behavior of this administration. It's just struck me that the people who are doing all the criming are the ones going after the folks who aren't. And that...
Stay quiet, or you're next. And here's where it gets darker. The Justice Department that will now review these criminal referrals is the exact same DOJ that just asked a federal appeals court to throw out the seditious conspiracy convictions of Proud Boys and Oath Keepers, men who were sentenced for leading coordinated attacks on the United States Capitol on January 6th. They're not just trying to rewrite history. They are erasing the criminal record of it, beat by beat, case by case, conviction by conviction. Now here's the open loop you need to hold on to, because what we haven't told you yet is exactly how this connects to 2026, and the paper trail that election law experts say proves this entire operation isn't about the past at all.
Conversation, an interview that NBC's Laura Jarrett had with acting AG Todd Blanche.
Every single person in this administration, me included, and obviously Attorney General Bondi as well, we serve at the pleasure of the president, and that's true of any administration. And so the president has the right and the duty and the obligation to make sure that he has folks that he wants. And the president may choose somebody besides me to be the Attorney General today. I can't speak to his thinking. I can't speak to what happened the past year. All I can say is that we have a very defined mission that we've been trying to execute and will continue to execute.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche sat down for an interview and said the quiet part loud. Every person in the administration, he said, serves at the pleasure of the president. That is his stated governing philosophy, his justification, his virtue signal to power. And when he was pressed,
Execute.
If the president of the United States says, go steal me an election, and you serve at the pleasure of the president, what does that then mean for a democracy?
Well, I mean, what it means is that you either have honor and dignity and you resign, or you do what Todd Blanche is saying he would do. I mean, Todd Blanche has been very clear, and it makes him a extraordinarily dangerous liar. You know, you all have interviewed a lot of politicians, and I say this with due respect and affection for many of them. But there's a way politicians lie, and that's the way that Pam Bondi lied. She would say, no, I am not doing the bidding of the president. I would never do a political prosecution. Todd Blanche is a criminal defense lawyer. Whole different mentality. His job is to take inconvenient facts and not deny them, but rather make them seem like they're good facts. Like, yes, of course, my client had a bloody knife in his hand. Innocent person wouldn't have the bloody knife in his hand? And so what he says is, of course we would do what the president says, Alicia. That's a good thing. That's democracy, right? So he embraces it as if doing the president's bidding to go after his.
If the president of the United States ordered you to steal an election, what would that mean for democracy? Blanche didn't deny it was possible. He reframed it. Like a criminal defense lawyer trained to take a bloody knife and make the jury feel like holding it was the reasonable thing to do. That's not political spin. That is a calculated blueprint. And ProPublica just confirmed what the blueprint is actually building toward. Every official who resisted efforts to overturn the 2020 results has been replaced.
You know, Mark, I don't think you move to try to rewrite the conditions or the history of January 6th unless you need those conditions right now. I don't think you move to install people who were election deniers in the government unless you want those people to act on their actions in official capacities. I don't think you dismantle accountability unless accountability is actually a threat to what's happening here. We often talk about how this is about this upcoming midterms. This is from ProPublica about the president's effort to take over the midterm elections. The people we identified as resisting attempts to overturn the 2020 results have been replaced by roughly 24, that's 24 people Trump has installed in positions that could affect elections, 10 of them actively working to reverse the 2020 vote, and the rest are associates of such people. These are the folks inside the government, right?